What if I told you in the next 18 months, a chunk of your job is going to be completely done by AI for the fraction of your salary? For a lot of people, this is not some dystopian movie plot. It's actually the new reality that we are walking into. Economists at Goldman Sachs estimate that generative AI can expose 300 million full-time jobs globally to automation. And this is not just, I'm trying to make a forecast. In fact, already 2025, you're hearing the news. Thousands of jobs have been cut with companies directly pointing AI as the reason. The shift is happening under our feet, and it's happening faster than any other industrial age that we have seen before. But what if I told you you can not only survive, but ride and become one of the most essential people in your industry? What if the threat was secretly your biggest opportunity? In this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step playbook to do exactly that. So let's dive in. Now, let me be brutally honest. The conversation on AI is very convoluted. It's cloudy. There is a lot of hype about AI, about the tools, and it makes it very difficult to understand. But now the data is starting to provide us very clear and very urgent picture. The World Economic Forum's latest report projects that by 2030, a staggering 92 million jobs is going to be replaced by AI. And for the very first time, this disruption is not only happening on the factory floor, in fact, it's impacting directly high-skilled white-collar jobs. Another research from OpenAI and the University of Pennsylvania found that around 80% of the US workforce could have 10% of their work tasks directly impacted by AI. Think about that, what it means. Paralegals, copywriters, data analysts, even junior software developers are seeing core parts of their jobs are being automated. So what makes it so staggering is the speed at which it's happening. It's catching even the smartest of the people and in fact entire companies completely off guard. The threat is not just your job is going to change. The problem is it could happen without a warning. And that's the fundamental challenge that we're facing. But before we get into the full playbook, I really think you need a starting personalized point where do you start from all of this noise? Where do you actually begin? You need to know exactly how specific your job is exposed because of AI. That's why I created a free app called willaireplaceme.co. In under 2 minutes, you can get a personalized AI risk score for your role, understand the likely timeline of potential AI impact, and receive a concrete action plan to stay ahead in your company and your industry. This is the perfect first step to understand your personal situation and how will AI impact it. Now let's talk about the playbook. Let's get into the step 1, which is the mindset shift. How do you navigate without becoming a casualty? The first and the most important step in the playbook has in fact nothing to do with learning a new tool or trying to understand all these algorithms. It's in fact, you have to stop seeing AI as a threat to yourself and start seeing as your biggest lever. You have to stop thinking that you are the target and in fact start acting as if you are the pilot and the driver. And if you go back in history, every technological revolution, it creates two types of peoples. So first is who get replaced by these new tools and technology, and the second who use them as their shield and defend it. This time is no different. The best way I can think about this is to use AI and becoming the AI co-pilot. Now, I give Microsoft, of course, the full credit for creating the term AI co-pilot. Your goal is no longer to be the person who's manually grinding through spreadsheets for a day and trying to drive the insight. Your goal, in fact, is to be the person who is using AI to analyze thousands of these columns and rows in the spreadsheets in a fraction of the time and using your human intelligence to find that $1 million insights in that analysis. This means you have to radically change the way how you operate. Let AI handle the boring, mundane, and repetitive tasks that is actually, in fact, draining your energy, like data entry, creating the first draft of emails, scheduling, content writing. This helps you free up to focus on complex and creative strategic work that is driving value for your company and your organization. And to me, that's the most fun part of it. So the choice is simple. Are you going to be the person that is going to be afraid of the self-driving car? Or are you going to be the one who's going to be in the driver's seat and telling it where to go? The rest of this playbook is going to be focused on the person Who wants to be the pilot? Step 2, identify your human alpha. All right, we know that we have covered the mindset. Now let's get more practical and tactical. Step 2 is all about finding and doubling down on what I call as human alpha, which is the skills that AI cannot simply replace it, at least not in the foreseeable future. Now, AI is really good at calculation. It's really good at finding the patterns, but it's completely lacks in consciousness, empathy, and wisdom. And this is where you really have an unbeatable advantage. Research has in fact shown from all different parts of the world that there are a set of unique human skills that are becoming more valuable than ever before. And these skills are like creativity, real critical thinking, solving messy problems even with incomplete data that AI cannot do, and collaborating across teams. The emotional intelligence part is becoming critical because it's the ability to lead a team in crisis mode. Its ability to negotiate a contract even in a tricky situation, or to mentor your colleague if they're struggling. To me, people used to call these skills as soft skills, but I really think that these soft skills are now becoming a hard skills in the age of AI. In fact, they are becoming your superpower. AI is not going to be able, AI can spit up a legal contract, but it cannot come up with a comprehensive legal strategy that's going to be represented in the courtroom. AI can generate lots of marketing campaigns and content, but it cannot establish the genuine relationship with the lead to lead to a 9-figure partnership. Your human alpha is the ability to think beyond the training data, connect those unrelated ideas, and inspire people to act and understand the subtle human needs that we have. Your job is to look at your own skills and invest heavily in these irreplaceable skills and qualities. I'm talking about the most actionable part of the playbook next, but before I do that, if you're really getting value from my videos, do me a quick favor, click that like button and subscribe button. My entire goal with this channel is to give you the clarity and the tools, not only just to survive, but to thrive in this new AI world. Okay, now let's move on to the step 3, which I call is the AI multiplier strategy. Okay, so step 3 is where we're going to get offensive. It's not enough to just sit on the fence and maybe learn a little bit of AI. You need to actively start multiplying your performance with AI. And that's why I call it the AI multiplier strategy. It's about weaving AI into your workflow, so make it more and more effective. First thing is start by doing a quick audit of your daily and weekly tasks. Identify what's repetitive, what's low value and mundane that's taking up a lot of your time. Is it manually compiling these reports, or sorting through hundreds of emails, or digging these key data points from tons of spreadsheets? That's the first thing you're going to hand off to AI Copilot. Look for opportunities to use AI in your task. And the most important point is show your leadership, your managers, your supervisors, the efficiency you have derived by performing these actions. This single act is going to position you not something who's just fighting AI and change, but also leading it and pioneering it. Here's the case in point. In my own organization, a specific business process, which was a large process covering many different areas, was adding a lot of inefficiency, and the guidance from the top leadership was to follow the process. Instead, I created a brand new approach that cuts the timeline in less than half and presented it to the senior leadership. The plan was very well received, and now it's being implemented because I developed that process with the help of AI. So that's the power of learning into AI and innovation when you're bringing forward smarter ways of working. So you're not just surviving the disruption, you're actually shaping the future of your company and the industry at large. Well, a lot of people think, well, do I need to become a data scientist or I need a machine learning degree? That's not true. It really means that you're blending your existing domain expertise that you're really good at with AI literacy. Learn the art of prompt engineering, contextual prompting, which is basically just asking smart questions to AI so you can get a completely different answer. It's like, for example, if you're in marketing, you can learn using AI to analyze a vast amount of market data to derive the insights. If you're in finance, you can learn how to spot those anomalies in the data sets that human being cannot find. The market, in fact, right now is screaming for these hybrid skills, and the data is completely undeniable. So if you look at the job postings and the AI skills, the people with AI skills asking for massive salary, and some studies are showing that they can see increase as much as 58%. Would this really translate to tens of thousands of dollars more per year to your bottom line? To me, this is not just job security. It's actually a direct path to a bigger paycheck and influencing your career. Step 4 is to become a continuous learner. So the fourth and the final step is gluing everything together. In the age of AI, your expertise that you currently have is going to have a shelf life. The skills that you think are valuable today, they might be completely automated tomorrow. The only sustainable advantage, in my view, is to have the ability to learn, adapt, and reinvent your skills faster than the technology evolves. You currently have to literally block off like at least 2 hours every week on your calendar for this learning practice. Now, I have a background in data science, but I still spend a lot of time learning these techniques and strategies. Treat it as your most important meeting. You can use online courses or look at the workshops or even watch videos like this. The goal is to stay at the leading edge of AI and applying AI in your specific field. But let's not do it alone. Find it what I call as your AI buddy. Someone in your company, someone in your organization, in your peer network, you can explore the tools and share what you're discovering. Being a part of this leadership community or AI community makes it so much easier to ask that silly questions, and it can help you rapidly increase your growth curve. I'm not just saying all of this, because I'm trying to motivate you. In fact, today, learning is a price of the admission to stay relevant in your organization. Investing in your skills is going to be the single best thing you can make for your future. So that's the playbook. It is a straightforward 4-step strategy that is going to turn the moment of uncertainty into your biggest clear advantage. First, we talked about shifting your mindset so you are not just becoming a target, you're in fact becoming the pilot of your career. Second is to find your human alpha. So double down on the creativity and critical thinking and emotional intelligence. Third is to become an AI multiplier. Use these tools to 10x your value. Fourth is to never stop learning. Make it a non-negotiable part of your life. The choice is yours. You can be a passive bystander and watch the world unfold before you, or you can become an active architect of your career and your future. Now, if your first step is to getting a personalized assessment, you can go to willaireplaceme.co and request that assessment. And if you want to get even deeper in this particular topic, the next video that is showing up on the screen, which I recommend, which is the single biggest habit that accelerates AI transformation for leaders. It is going to be the one shift that separates from people who talk about AI transformation to the people who are actually doing it. Click on it and I'll see you there.